Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Sales Development Podcast. I'm David Delaney, your host, and I'm joined today by Marco Torres, the founder of marketingboost.com. Marco, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm really excited to talk to you. Marco's helped thousands of business owners worldwide boost their sales and scale their business by as much as 5 times through the use of incentive-based marketing. So we have a true expert in this particular field. And you teach entrepreneurs how to increase sales through value-added incentives instead of discounts. And I just joined the Facebook group. You've got 30,000 members in there learning about this. Marco, what are value-added incentives and how do you help companies 5x their sales?
Well, that's a great question. A lot of people, when you talk about incentive-based marketing, it doesn't ring an instant bell. And people are like, well, what do you mean by that? And at the end of the day, or the beginning of the day, for any business owner, I think there's three ways to grow your business. You either, one, need to get more customers, which is pretty obvious, right? You need more customers. Or two, you need to get existing customers to buy more often. And the third option would be you got to get the same customers you have, your existing customers, to spend more when they do buy. So those are really, the end of the day, what you've got. Now, how do you do that? How do you get more customers? How do you get existing customers to buy more, et cetera? And one of the ways is to use incentives. And what is that? Well, let's go back to one example everybody's going to recognize. I often talk about Amazon, Jeff Bezos, one of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world. We all know him. How did he, back in 2005, he launched an incentive product called Amazon Prime. And back then, none of us were into video streaming, really. The incentive was free shipping. We bought Amazon Prime for $79 back then. Now I think it's $99 a year. And why? So we could get free shipping. That was the carrot. Wow, free shipping. I'll join that club. It's kind of like joining Sam's Club. You had to pay to buy your Sam's card to be able to get discounts, right? Here it was to get the free shipping. Another example everyone will recognize is McDonald's. They have the Happy Meal for decades now. They generate about $4 billion a year in extra revenue thanks to the Happy Meal, where they get us, especially if you've got young kids and parents, to take our eye off of the price, focus on the bundle, the package of the burger, the soda, the snack, and of course, what? The toy, the seasonal Disney movie toy or what have you, that has been driving in about $4 billion a year of extra revenue every year for decades now. So what is your adult Happy Meal? What are you as a business owner adding? How are you creating value versus just being the cheapest on the block? How can you add some sort of incentives to you, whatever your call to action is? And that's what we do at Marketing Boost. We provide some of the incentives you might want to use as a business owner. That's not, to say that's the only incentive you ought to be developing, but we make it easy by providing some very high value incentives, travel rewards that business owners can give to their clients when they take action, when they buy, when they, at a trade show, giveaways. As an example, we have a variety we can talk about along the way of how to use these incentives to grow your business.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm falling into exactly what you're talking about. I was one of the first customers of Amazon Prime. I bought and I was given Happy Meals as a kid, and I buy them. And I also thought about Costco. I don't know if that's in the same realm, but every year, we buy the membership so that we can go in. And it's I never really stopped to think about why we're doing that, but now it makes perfect sense if I'm following you.
Yeah, we have the incentive with Costco, right? Isn't, you want that membership. What do you want? You want the membership to buy wholesale, to be able to buy discount products at wholesale and in bulk. So, I mean, it's a genius strategy, right? They not only get those annual memberships that we all sign up for, but then because we made that annual membership purchase, we're kind of loyal too, right? We're thinking Costco's when we're thinking going shopping. We could have gone to grocery store, Albertsons, Publix, whatever it is. But we're often going, well, I got to get my money's worth. So, so you're going to your membership program with Costco's and so forth, even though it might be longer lines. You got to buy much more volume of product that you don't necessarily need or want, but you end up with these huge cans or boxes of stuff. But if you got a big family, yeah, then it definitely makes sense.
Oh my gosh, you're describing my life. Okay, so and I've heard, I have a question for you, but I've heard that Costco makes most of their money on the yearly subscription fee, and they've got obviously razor thin margins. They lose money on the chickens, which I thought was interesting because we get the chicken every time we go there. Sorry, we're a Costco. This is really resonating with me because it's like now it all makes sense.
Yeah, the chicken is one of their what we in many of in the online world we call it the tripwire, right?
It's all the way in the back.
It's
Yeah.
all the way in the back, and it's the
Yeah.
incentive product. Here's our $5, $6 roasted chickens. And I think they haven't gone up on their price in 20 years or whatever it is for the roasted chicken. I don't remember exactly what Costco sells. Don't have a Costco in my area, so I go to Sam's. But anyway, I've read that Costco's hasn't gone up on their price for I don't know how many years because that's their draw card. That's one of their draw cards. People go in and go all the way to the back of the store to get those chickens, buy 2 or 3 of them, and then by the time they get out the store, they spent $500 on stuff that if they had gone to the regular grocery store, they would have spent 200. But
Totally, exactly.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Because I mean, every time I go into Sam's, I can't get out of there without spending $400. I don't know where it goes, but you end up picking, you don't get one case of stuff. You get 18 bottles of water instead of.
You go for the chicken and
Yeah.
stay for the toilet paper, right? But
Right, yeah,
gets you there.
40 rolls of toilet paper instead of 12. It's like
Crazy. But this is such an interesting world that you live in, that you're really tapped into something that we almost do instinctively, and like we don't even know what we're doing here. And we live in the B2B world. So it's and usually software to other businesses. And one thing that I've noticed, so I want to go into each of the incentive realms that you talked about. But definitely in our world, at the beginning of the process of going out and getting new customers to just become interested, there's a lot of messaging out, and an executive's email box is full of solicitations every day, 200-300 emails saying, hey, will you take a meeting with me to take a look at my software? And I think they just zone out after a while. So my question is, how there's incentives to get new customers, there's incentives to keep customers loyal, and then there's incentives to up the subscription price. But take us through the life cycle of especially that beginning piece.
Well, obviously you've got to know your market, your target audience, right? What's going to get them to open your email? What's going to get them to open your LinkedIn message? Can you get people? And I agree. My LinkedIn, my emails are as full as anybody else's. But yet I'm still occasionally grabbed by a Facebook ad in my scroll that grabbed my attention on a software product or what have you. And I didn't keep scrolling. I stopped and I watched how this software solution might solve one of my problems. And then as I'm watching it through, maybe I'll click through to learn more. And as I'm going through the what it is they offer, etc. And of course, to get me to take the next step of either buying or booking a demo or what have you, at that point, one, I've got to be really interested in the product, of course, and two, is that if they added, a bonus incentive or something just for the demo, at that point they might have me, right? I'm right there. I'm considering, booking a demo. And if they, one, you got to make it super easy and click and fill out and don't ask for way too many questions. I've seen some that, they start digging in. They want to make sure that, well, again, you might do that if you have to pre-qualify, are you the CEO? How many employees do you have? What's your sales volume? And again, if you can afford to be that picky about who you're, cutting through to get through the noise of prospects, I wouldn't. If it was my business, I would be, and I'll take the, have as the less questions you ask, obviously, the more you can get to somebody to fill it out. And then if you incentivize it, which is we found in many, many industries, whether it's B2B like this, selling software, or especially in B2C, obviously that's even to a certain degree a little bit easier. But for example, we offer 3 different categories of incentives. I don't think I touched on them. So we offer complimentary hotel. In our case, just talk about us for a minute. And again, we can talk about other incentives you might add. They don't have to be ours, but I mean, we offer complimentary hotel stays in 130 destinations around the world from 3 to 7 night stays. They don't include airfare, they don't include food and beverage, or they don't include government taxes and fees. And in a way, that's the only 3 disclaimers that somebody would need to say. Then we have a category of hotel savings cards. They come in increments of $1, $2, $3, and $500. And we have restaurant savings vouchers. So we teach our business owners, for example, and when you're a member of Marketing Boost, you get the ability to give away as many of these as you want for one low subscription price. So anyway, as you might say, hey, book an appointment, book a no obligation demo call. Let's chat and see if our software is a good solution for you. And just for showing up, booking the appointment, and showing up on time, because people are end up with no shows a lot, right? So one of the ways to not only entice an appointment, but entice to reduce the no shows. If you book that appointment and show up on time, we're going to reward you with a $200 hotel savings card, good at over 1 million hotels for your, next hotel, for your next travel arrangements. And you're giving them an additional reason to go ahead and book that appointment and pull out 30 minutes of my time to hear your spiel. So it's an incentive.
That's crazy. Okay, because this is not done very much. I think of one guy who in our world who sells software, and his whole marketing strategy is I'll send you this gift if you take a demo, because it just every week it's coming out. It's a new gift if you take a demo. I also see companies that say, I'll give you $100 gift card if you take a demo with us.
Right.
But you're taking it to a whole new level. You're talking, tell me more about the hotel stays and, really, this is really fancy. I don't see this.
No, you don't. It's not. Although we have thousands of members around the globe using our service, I don't see it yet. We're far from saturation of anybody being. I see it in my LinkedIn all the time. Yeah, we'll give you $100 Amazon gift card if you book an appointment. But guess what? $100 Amazon gift cards cost $100. So you better have some conversions, and because that's going to be expensive for 10 appointments, $1,000 just in gifts. And so you're hoping to convert on a and it's just like, again, they're these incentive type products, they work, otherwise people wouldn't be doing it. Now, how does our product work? Well, it came about by accident when we launched this in 2017. We came back in early 2015 or so. We were building one of our other travel websites very successfully, but we wanted video testimonials, David, and we couldn't get hardly anybody to take that extra mile. We sold, hotels and resorts, and we couldn't get anybody to go that extra mile while on vacation to film us a selfie testimonial, bragging about the resort they were staying at and about our brand. So we came up with an idea, because we knew if we only had these video testimonials, we'd leverage them into thousands of more sales. But we didn't have any. So we asked our clients, we did a survey. Now, anybody listening, this is a good idea for nearly any business out there, because we all need testimonials. We all need video reviews and written reviews and so on. So when we thought our client would be at their peak of happiness, which is the day after check-in, we send them a survey. and we'd send them an email and a text message and say, hey, how's the hotel that you purchased, the hotel you booked? How's it living up to your expectations? How's our service been so far? Can you give us a star rating from 1 to 5? If they gave us a 4 or 5, we were immediately sending them back text and email automated saying, wonderful, we're thrilled that you're loving the hotel. Can you do us a huge favor and help us spread the word about this hotel brand? And if you would go the extra mile and film a selfie testimonial video and brag about their brand and brag about ours, we're going to reward you with a bonus vacation, 3 nights in your choice of Orlando or Las Vegas. Now,
wow.
At the time, we knew that would be expensive. We're going to, like those $100 gift cards, we're going to have to eat the cost on these hotels in Orlando and Vegas. But we wanted a dozen or 2 dozen of these video testimonials we could put all over our website and what have you. Well, guess what? It worked. We suddenly started getting in, several dozen video testimonials. We turned off the campaign because this is going to be expensive, giving away these hotel rooms. And then we thought, well, how could we do it so we don't have to turn off this campaign? We went back to our hotel partners in Orlando and Vegas and said, look, you've got a problem, and we think we found an idea to help you solve it. Your problem is, let's be honest, your hotels and this is worldwide, the same situation for all hotels. Let's be honest, your hotel's never full year round. You're full certain weekends, peak seasons, special holidays, special events. But the majority of the year, 70% of the year, you've got 30, 40, 50% of your rooms sitting empty. Yet you still have the same fixed costs, front desk staff, mortgage payments, rent, lights, water, maintenance. And so we got the few hotels in Orlando and Vegas to agree to give us their unsold rooms where we could put warm bodies in, where they're going to get some revenue versus none, because people are likely going to spend money at the restaurant, bar, casino, gift shop, excursion desk, book extra nights, etc. So we got a few to agree in Orlando and Vegas, and that we were now being able to turn on our campaign again. Well, we now have over 25,000 video reviews on just one of our websites and thousands more on others with that process. And so where am I going with this? We thought to ourselves, holy smokes, can you imagine if we had hundreds of hotels participating instead of just Orlando and Vegas? And we set out to do that. And that's what eventually became marketingboost.com, where we're providing complimentary hotel stays from 3 to 7 nights, where they don't include airfare, don't include food and beverage, and somebody's got to pay the government taxes. And most of our clients, our Marketing Boost members, they just disclose to the person they gave the incentive to, hey, I'm giving you the hotel stay. You're on your own for how you get there, transportation, airfare, driving, whatever. Your government fee, food and beverage is not included, and neither are the government taxes. And so the end user pays an activation fee, which covers the taxes that'll be due when they travel. Then they have 18 months to select travel dates from an online portal, put in the dates they want to go, look at what's available, book it, get instant confirmation, no hoops to jump through, no timeshare presentations. It's easy peasy to use the program. And then the hotel savings cards is access to our wholesale high volume travel agency rates. So they get discounts from $1, $2, $3, up to $500 from these hotel savings cards that are digitally sent to the consumer, and or the restaurant savings vouchers that are about 250,000 offers throughout the USA and Canada. So the smaller incentives, like the restaurant incentive or a $200 hotel savings card, those are what we recommend using a micro incentive for a micro call to action, like, subscribe to my newsletter and we'll give you $100 restaurant savings voucher. Book a Zoom call and get a $200 hotel savings card. Buy my $1,000, $10,000 business coaching program, and we give you 5 nights in Cancun on us. So, in other words, using these incentives and, give you an idea. I had one guy who had a subscription. He had people paying him $97 a month. He found Marketing Boost, and he came up with a way to, hey, if you pay for a year in advance, we'll give you a choice of 5 nights in Cancun or Hawaii. Pay for 6 months in advance, and you become, he gave each these level different, fancy names, your Platinum Club, whatever. But if they paid for 6 months in advance, they got 3 nights in Las Vegas or 3 nights in Orlando or San Diego, over 30 U.S. destinations. And he ended up generating almost $500,000 in a cash flow boost in 4 days, with about 300 of them that paid for a year in advance and another 150 paid for 6 months. So that's just one case study of, hundreds that we have of people that have found ways to use these incentives to lead generation ideas, trade show booth giveaways, um, uh, rebate. I've even had people. I could let you ask a question rather than hog the mic, but anyway.
No, my head is spinning. I'm like, where you been all my life?
Right.
That's amazing. Okay, so you've got this excess inventory of and all these connections that you've made over the years with the hotels, and their point of view is it's the same with the chicken, the Costco. When we get the people in the hotels and they're there and they're spending money, even if they have you're going to burn through a $200 incentive card in about 5 minutes at a hotel. I mean, you're going to drop some serious cash at the hotel, even if the rooms are comp, right? Isn't that how Vegas was born? Right.
Right. They were.
Okay. Yeah.
No. Go ahead. I didn't mean to
Yeah. No,
interrupt.
I was just going to say, but you can offer this and how do you, I mean, without disclosing too much, but are you being paid by the hotels? Are you taking a cut of each transaction that happens? I mean, where do you come in? Because it seems like you're giving away this amazing opportunity.
We do. Well, we make money multiple ways. One, we make money on the subscriptions. So we have thousands of people around the world paying us $37 a month, and that can be pretty sustainable. Then we have kind of like the Costco's model, right? and then we own the travel companies that fulfill the trips on the back end, both the complimentary hotel stays and the hotel savings cards. And so with those, with every with all the, we're offering upgrades, we're offering the, upgrade room types, upgrade all inclusives if they're going to Mexico, for example, and Caribbean. So we're generating some revenue on the back end of these complimentary hotel stays as well, and then on the hotel savings cards, similarly, there's just a few points there on each hotel booking where there's a revenue source as well. So
sure. And there's nothing blows out your budget like a travel thing. So you go, okay, I'm gonna travel somewhere and my budget is X, and then it's like, well, we need this, we need that, they got to upgrade, we can't do that, and the next thing you know, you're yeah, it's very easy to spend money when you're traveling. So that makes perfect sense.
Now, with that said, okay, one of the things, these incentives have a very powerful draw card because, ever since, well, we've been at this since 2017. When COVID hit, we took a hit. No kidding, right? We're selling travel. Yeah. We extended our terms, from 18 months to use the incentives to 24 months to give people more time. The members were still, we lost a lot of members. Probably 40% of our members thought, well, no one's going to want a travel incentive, so they dropped us. But those that kept us found people were still activating these certificates and still had hope to travel one day. So truthfully, nobody was traveling. So come middle of 2021, when vaccines were everybody had either got COVID or got vaccinated or what have you. Suddenly it was like sick and tired of lockdowns. Lockdown or not, we're going somewhere. And it became like revenge travel. And our incentives since then have been through the roof. People want to go somewhere. They want it. These incentives were very attractive. We've never had such high usage or activation and usage of these incentives because the consumer is like, we got to go somewhere. And now with inflation as high as it is around the world, the idea of travel is still high in everybody's mind, but it's expensive now, even more than ever. So it's like offering the discount incentive or the complimentary hotel stays is even more powerful as a call to as adding value to your call to action for your consumer, be it another business owner in a B2B environment or in a B2C environment.
Wow. Okay. So you're hitting your stride now, and business is sometimes, how long can you survive, right? Until when you go through these tros, and you keep coming up with good ideas and you keep moving forward, and then now you're all of a sudden, you're crushing it with this. So okay, so let me take it back. Let's say I'm shopping for 3 different software in solutions for my company. And I go to this one website and it says, take me through the process. It says, if you, here's how the software works. If you take a demo, you unlock this incentive. If you become a customer, you unlock this incentive. Like, what does it look like for me as a potential customer for a company?
From our side, we're
Yeah.
gonna once you have decided to provide your client or prospect the incentive for whatever the call to action was, which could be, this process can be automated. Then the incentive can be delivered either digitally, or you can print for example, the complimentary hotel stays can be printed, professionally. You can download them and take them and get professionally printed if you want a high glossy, hard stock, attractive certificates to give away at a trade show booth or what have you, or put them in snail mail, or you can digitally send them via email and text message straight from our platform. The client then gets the information. They see the promo. They see it branded by coming from David at 10 Bound. And so compliments of 10 Bound, you receive 3 nights in Las Vegas. Click here to activate your certificate. And then they go there and they're going to be told how they need to activate it. They're going to pay the government taxes and fees that are due. And then they'll have 18 months to select travel dates to go. And then they'll be able to log in later whenever they feel like it, look in what's available. Because we're filling those empty rooms, here's a couple of disclaimers between us here, those listening. Because we're filling what would otherwise be empty hotel rooms, these promotional travel certificates, the complimentary hotel stays, we provide about 32 out of 52 weeks of available inventory year round, which means they're likely not going to be available for Christmas week, New Year's Eve, 4th of July.
Of course.
It may or may not be available on your birthday or so. So if the consumer is super demanding and I can only travel on Easter week, that may or may not be available for that destination. And so in the worst case scenario, we refund the client if they're not happy. Or provide them with an opportunity to change the destination. But anyway, there's this. It's not travel on demand. Like I want to go tonight. Now the hotel savings cards are different. They provide travel last minute. That you can save on these hotel bookings, even for same day bookings. So those are good at 1 million hotels worldwide with no 100%. There's always going to be something available at a savings cost, at a price.
Okay. And so me as the company, as 10 Bound, for example, I just pay you a subscription fee each month to use Marketing Boost. And then we put sort of a thing on the website, like a box on the website, and or something like that. And everything else is sort of just handled in the back end on your end to fulfill we fulfill
all the trips, etc., and don't want to turn you into a travel agent. So it becomes, so you want to, and then we're here to coach you on that. We provide onboarding call training, and our Facebook group has over 30,000 members where we're always providing. We have a whole guide section full of training videos and what have you in the Facebook group. And members are helping each other there as well with ideas on what's working, what's not. Questions are asked, and other people might chime in to give you some ideas. But the idea is to try to make it as easy as possible for you, for 10 Bound or anybody else out there, to add these and offer these. And worst case scenario, you're manually, if you don't set up all the technology to automate things, you can just when somebody signs up for your product, 10 Bound, let's suppose, you can manually say, okay, let me go. Okay, you earned it. You paid me the $5,000 for my coaching program or whatever. Now you go log into Marketing Boost, put in their simple process. You log in, fill out the form, name, phone number, email, and a custom message. If you'd like, you can send a custom message to the client saying, hey, David, thank you for your order. Here's your complimentary hotel stay that I promised you for 3 nights in Las Vegas, and hit send, boom, and now it's gonna email them and text message them the incentive instantly.
That is amazing. Okay, so I think you just got a customer. what if someone's listening to this and they go, God, I'm a sales rep. I work at a company. They don't have anything like this. Can they somehow go and bring this to their boss and go, we have got to set this up, or something like that? Does that ever happen?
Absolutely. I mean, well, we have marketing directors, sales directors around the country that find us and bring this to the company. And I even have independent sales reps that do this on their own with, I know one guy comes to mind. He had a huge Black Friday week and Black Friday, Cyber Week. He is a sales rep at a furniture store. Just to give you an idea, here's a single guy sales rep at a furniture store in San Antonio, Texas, if I'm not mistaken. And he does his own Facebook promos and what have you. He goes, come in, see me at the store, and you get 3 nights in Las Vegas with the purchase of more than X. So he's posting all these pictures of people that bought a bed, or they bought appliances, or they bought and he's showing them with a printed certificate to Las Vegas. And so he's using the incentive he's probably the number one salesman in that store. And he's not the owner. He's just simply a sales rep there saying, if you buy from me, I got this relationship with this travel company, and I'll get you 3 nights in Las Vegas on me when you buy it from me.
Oh my God. I like that chutzpah,
Yeah, no doubt. His Facebook
even
post
though he
reminds me
doesn't
of crazy. Remember Crazy Eddie in New York years and
yeah.
years ago? His Facebook post remind me of Crazy Eddie. Here I am, Crazy Eddie in San Antonio, Texas. Here, it's like,
Oh my God. That is so funny. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you really have to, you got to make it happen. Even if you're working at a company, you can't just do the cookie cutter approach that everybody else uses, because,
Yeah, I'll give you another case study, not to cut you off, but this one's big.
Yeah.
I had a company who people think of these travel incentives and often think, how would that work in my business? I don't sell. Obviously, if I sold travel, these would work. Buy one, get ones. Which obviously we have a lot of travel agents that use us. If you buy a cruise, you get one of our promotional hotel stays. But this guy sold big company in multiple states around the U.S. They do windshield replacement and repair. And in most of the states they're in, the windshields are replaced by the insurance company. So the consumer pays nothing really when they get these windshields replaced for a cracked windshield or what have you. So their competitiveness between all the companies in their markets, they offer cash rebates for people to select them versus somebody else. So if you hire this company, we'll give you $150 cash rebate, for example. Since there's no money out of pocket, you get a new windshield and 150 cash. So,
nice.
So they drive in, they get their clients. Well, but that's $150 out of pocket for that windshield company when they had to give somebody a check for every time they installed. They found marketing booths. They trained their installers to, when they get out to the house, they could still promote the same way their competitors do with the cash rebate. But when they get to the install, they put in the new windshield. Their sales rep were coached and trained to say, hey, folks, instead of 150 cash back, I can keep this and replace this and instead give you 5 nights in Cancun, Mexico on us. Doesn't include airfare, food and beverage, or government taxes and fees, but you can choose from Cancun, Cabo San Lucas, or, I can get you 3 nights in Las Vegas, for example. And their reps were being commissioned to swap out, here's your certificate instead of cash. And now the house kept, and the first year they did this, they kept over $1 million of additional cash in-house instead of handing out cash rebates. So
wow. There you go. That's crazy. So you're increasing sales while decreasing your outlay on these really expensive incentives.
And that can be done with anything. The rebates can be very popular with anything you got going on. So you could be selling, appliances and going, hey, you get a cash rebate. And then when they go through the steps to get their cash rebate, you might say, well, you've earned $100 cash rebate, or I can give you 3 nights in Las Vegas instead on us, and you keep the cash, hand them a certificate that only costs you as the business owner $37 a month. So,
okay. All right. That is amazing. Okay. I've got some homework to do. So first and foremost, everybody can join the Facebook group. We'll put that in the show notes to learn more about that. And then you got your website right there. So we'll head over there. $37 a month, is doable. And Marco, thank you so much for coming on the show and telling us about this. My brain is going crazy right now with incentives.
Yeah, no, and trust me, guys, for listening, and not to keep going ideas, but ideas is what one idea can change the game for you, right? If you do live webinars, you can entice people to attend the webinar with receiving an incentive. You can entice people, stay till the end. I'm giving away 2 trips to Las Vegas on the end of my next webinar. You need to stay till the end. We're going to pick a winner. So you can engage people to stick around till the 48-minute point where I'm going to be giving away 2 vacations and another 2 at the 55-minute point. Stay tuned, that kind of thing. And there's just a million. I mean, if you have a little bit of creativity, you can make, gamify your incentives or your rewards programs. You can create loyalty programs. There's a lot that can be done with a little bit of creativity and not a whole lot of cost.
I love it. I love it. And everyone's sharing ideas. You've got your ideas on the Marketing Boost website, but then there's 30,000 people going, hey, this worked for me, and different ideas there too. So what a great resource.
Yep.
Yep. Marco, thank you so much for coming on the show. I have some homework to do, so I just appreciate you sharing your wisdom, and look forward to hopefully working with you soon.
David, I'm here to help you and anybody else. You can, again, in the notes below, there's links to get a hold of me.